in mental health. Today, I want to talk about mental health. Happy September. Happy Saturday. It is going to be an amazing weekend. Drop in the comments, what are you guys doing? Are you with family for the weekend? Maybe some of you are barbecuing. Maybe you're on the lake. Let me know what's up. What's up? I am excited to share today. This is completely freestyle. I have no notes. This is going to be from the heart. I love the month of September. I love when it gets cooler out. And I love fall. I am not a summer girl. Although we are on the lake, I've been trying for the last 10 minutes to get my camera where the lighting was right. And as you guys can see, there's shadows because I'm under the trees. One side of my face looks dark, one side looks light. But I don't have a camera crew. I don't have anybody here helping me make myself look good with a filter. So what you see is what you get. But September is Suicide Awareness Month. On September 10th, it's Suicide Awareness Day, a cause that is near and dear to our heart. My son owns a nonprofit clothing company. My daughter's birthday is on September 10th. And I love the month of September because it's new beginnings. It's a month where we recognize that some of the people around us might need some hope, some help, maybe some better health, maybe some love and encouragement. But I am working on a huge podcast with thank you so much for saying that. I'm working on a huge podcast and I'm going to have an incredible guest. I don't have it locked in yet. I'll let you know when the date is. But one of my son's partners in business, who actually has a movie out and does a lot of nonprofit speaking in schools and across America on this topic of mental health. And he actually had jumped from the Golden Gate Bridge and did not succeed at his attempt with suicide. And today he goes all over the world talking about what he experienced. So stay tuned for that. If you guys want to know when that podcast is going to be, you're going to need to go to your notifications and turn it on to where you get alerted when I go live. And you might want to hit follow, because if you hit follow, you're going to know when I go live. It will alert you. You can't just be a friend. The algorithms are all messed up. You need to hit follow and turn on your notifications. So today I want to start with something that I saw last night, which was really profound. And I want you guys to listen to this quote, and I'll drop it in the comments later. It says, diagnosing someone who can barely make ends meet in a job that they hate is what made me question the psychology field. Of course, they have anxiety or depression symptoms because people can't be well in survival mode. It's not the person who is sick, it's the culture. And culture is everything, you guys. We are the average of our 5 closest friends. We are going to feel the energy of the people that are all around us every single day. And if we don't have somebody that's sowing good into us, we are going to revert back to our comfort zone where we are accepted exactly how we are. And those are going to be the people that we're rubbing shoulders with. It's easy for us in our young years to be labeled. And I was thinking about this last night because thank God I had someone who would sow into me faith and strength and hope and a work ethic and telling me good things, telling me you're beautiful. You're the prettiest little redhead girl that there ever was. I mean, my grandma would tell me that all the time. Your freckles are pretty. When people are saying things that make you feel good to you, it's completely different than redhead, freckle face, copper top, all the other programming that I was getting every single day at school. And growing up in a family like I grew up in, it wasn't like I had my mom doing my pigtails every morning. Like, she was driving a truck, so was my dad. It's not like I had someone posting my picture saying how cute I was on my first day of school. I was lucky if I got my butt dressed and walked there with 5 siblings. We grew up in a tough love home, and we are tough. We grew up in a work hard home, and we work hard. But people grow up in the culture that they grow up in, and they don't have to stay there, but they need a mentor to pull them out of whatever false beliefs they had programmed. And when people don't feel good, they do what makes them feel good. And sometimes the things they do to make them feel good are not always the best choices. And pretty soon, when they have found a way to just feel good, that's what they exist at. And there are so many people out there, you guys, that this quote hits. Like, people need hope so bad right now. People need to be able to dream and think that things are going to be good. And we are constantly programmed every single day with negative energy, negative news cells. The frequency of the entire world right now is hate and argue and division and, just you better watch your back. And it's crazy because all this 5G going on, all of this, it started with fax machines and bag phones, and now it's cell phones and it's wireless, digital creation. There's 20 million things going in our head every single day. And we can see one thing that would completely get our mind going in a rabbit hole that might not be the best thing. And there's two kinds of people out there. There are people that are going to play the victim game, and there are people that are going to play the victor game. But how do we get the victim who really does have bad stuff happening to believe that they can be the victor? And it's absolute energy, you guys. Reach out to someone you know and just say, how are you? How are you feeling? I haven't heard from you lately. I just want you to know we're friends. I care about you. I thought about you today. I'm going to challenge all of you right now to think of someone that you haven't talked to in a while, but maybe they've crossed your mind and you didn't follow that intuition to just reach out. Reach out right now and just say, hey, you were on my mind today. I was thinking of you. Hope you're having a great weekend. How have you been? When people feel like someone even cares about them, it sticks with them. And sometimes it's a total stranger that a person that's hurting will reach out to instead of someone that they actually love. Because we feel abandonment, we feel judged, we feel inadequate, we feel ashamed, we feel scared, we feel like a failure. There's so many different words that are a low vibration that you don't even know that people are feeling, that a hug, a smile, a compliment of any kind can make such a big difference. Now, this weekend, a lot of my friends are headed to the 10X event, and I did not go to the Cardone event because we were supposed to have family at the lake. And oh my gosh, my kids are working so hard right now. There's nobody chilling on Labor Day, right? But we were supposed to, so I did not register to go to the event. But last year when I was there, I will never forget one of the speakers, and it had nothing to do with real estate. It had nothing to do with personal development or making money. It had everything to do with mental health. And it was actually Grant and Elena Cardone's doctor. And he was on the stage, and I can remember I was videoing every bit of it, sending it to my husband, my son, my daughter, my friends. It was crazy because it was the first time that I ever really thought that mental health, mental illness, and depression could have anything to do with a deficiency. I just never thought about that. But let's think for 1 minute. People who are struggling with addiction, they don't have good nutrition, right? They probably don't get any sunlight. They probably don't have high vibrational messages coming to them all day. And what happens, and I've studied this a lot because Dave actually struggled with it after he lost his brother. As we have these same thoughts over and over and over again, it's almost like rivers, through your brain. Dave and I took a drive yesterday. We spent the entire day on the water. We went dream building. We looked at houses. We were actually trying to program all the fishing spots in his little navigational system because you can put the, what is it called? The latitude, the longitude, whatever that long word is. What is that word? I don't even know what it is. But anyway, he was putting them in his map. So once we found the fish, then we knew we could go right back to that place. And you guys, that's exactly how our brains work. Once there is a groove in there, because we've been thinking the same thing over and over and over again, it could be even false programming. What happens is it stays that way. It's like you driving down a dirt road that has had a really bad rainstorm. I live on a dirt road, and when it rains bad, there's ruts. There's ruts that you slip into when the mud dries, and it's easy to slip into that rut. And that's the way that I think of and what I have observed. And I'm no expert on mental illness. I'm no expert on mental health, but this is what I see. This is what I believe. We think a certain way long enough that we start to believe that false belief. Even if it's not true, we start to believe it. And then anything that happens, if we can't stay up, we slip into that rut. Yesterday in the lake, on the little sonar system, it would be 100 feet deep in spots. And then it would climb up to like 12 or 15. First, 60, 30, 12 or 15. But there would be a ledge. And I told Dave, how can this lake be 100 feet deep? Like, can you imagine how scary it is down there? 100 feet underwater. Like, what lives down there? Big fish, bottom feeders, right? And I was thinking about it. I said, how did that get there? And Dave said, well, before it was the Neosho River, right? So as they made the lake, there was this long, long river, but then there was like this big lake that came out of it. It's the same way with our thinking. When we are deficient, when we have had bad things happen, when we start to feel labeled, ashamed, hate, anger, resentment, apathy, jealousy, all these low vibrational feelings, or we've made a mistake, or we've lost a loved one, or whatever it is, and we feel like we're never going to feel good again, we just start to give up. Like, I'm probably never going to feel good again. Like, I can't believe that this is my life. I can't believe that this is what I've done. And when people need to feel good and they go to the doctor, obviously they're going to get labeled depressed, not right up here, maybe split personalities, bipolar. I mean, bipolar is a real thing. Yes, sometimes people do need stuff to get them back to normal. But I could go bipolar on you, right? Like, if you were to take something I loved, if I was to feel in danger, if somebody messed with my kids, whatever, like, I probably have a bipolar side of me too. And people are getting bombarded with so much stress, so much fear. There's not good nutrition in the food that we're eating, and they turn to something that makes them feel good. And then all of a sudden, one prescription leads to another prescription, leads to another prescription. I'm not saying they're bad. I have a loved one right now that needs the prescription in order to get the chemical that is not in the brain. I get it. Do not think for 1 minute I'm arguing with you about that. But there are a lot of side effects. There are a lot of side effects to anything we take. I had shingles a week ago, right? I have a little bit of a mess right here on my neck still, but Dave was doing my live because I was covered in shingles, blisters just here and then going down my arm, and then your back hurts. Thank God I found something to finally help with that. But I'm going to tell you guys right now that if I would have took what they gave me for the nerve pain, there are people that have been labeled dementia. There are people that have been labeled not okay and put on something else for this and that and the other because they needed something that wasn't in their body, in their brain. So you got to be careful. You got to read labels. You got to really think about what you're doing. Like, are you really diagnosed depressed? Are you really diagnosed that you can't focus? Are you really diagnosed that whatever it is? Or do you need to put good stuff in? Do you need some good nutrition? Like, you're not maybe eating right. You're not getting sleep. You're not getting sunlight. Dave wrote an amazing book called The Thinking Cure. And if you haven't read it, you should get it. You can go to pitcockmarketing.com. If you have someone that is struggling, you should get it for them as a gift because it is unbelievable. Starting to get shadows here, you guys, because the sun is moving and it's going to keep moving because it's coming up. Whether we like it or not, the sun's coming up. It's going to get hot. So I want to talk to you guys about mental health and things that I have found that you can do. So number one, be careful who you hang around and what they are doing to you. Ask yourself, who am I hanging around? What are they doing to me? And is that okay? Because most of the time, the people that you're hanging around don't even know what they're doing to you, but everything they say, everything they do, everything they believe, what they drink, what they eat, what they listen to, your environment does determine your mental health. It really, really does. And sometimes you don't realize it. So last night, Dave and I went to a concert downtown, and it was fun. It was an old AC/DC tribute, right? So we grew up, like, I always hung around the people that were older than me because I was way more mature than the 12-year-olds. I already had a job at 12. My sister and I were working at a little beauty shop after school. We had to clean all the perm rods, all the brushes, clean up all the hair, all the little papers, sterilize them, put them in the little light thing that makes them good. And I mean, we were 12 and we got out of school and we went to work. I know that was child labor, but I wasn't playing with Barbies when I was 12. I wasn't roller skating around the block. Like I was until I was about 12. And then I was a full blown adult, right? Taking care of kids, watching my mom's younger than me siblings. My mom had a lot of kids. I was the oldest of 5. And my mental health was survival. My mental health was work, make money, take care of kids, clean, do laundry, get some money, go buy some groceries. And it's just the way that I was programmed. Like, you got to work, like, you got to get up and you got to go, right? And there might have been other kids that were programmed differently. And what they heard at home might have been a different message. Everybody's out to get you. You better watch your back. Everybody's a bully. Money is bad. Those rich people are bad. Like, whatever you hear when you're growing up. I never heard any of that. All I knew is this: the way that I'm going to get loved is to work. The way that I'm going to get recognized is to work. So my programming was, I got to work. And when I worked, I would feel good. Let me ask you guys a question. What did you do growing up to feel good? Because for a lot of young kids, it was be a good athlete. For a lot of young kids, it was maybe you have to get good grades. For a lot of young kids, you had to be a national champion dancer, right? For a lot of young kids, it was mow the lawn and feed the dogs. Everybody is programmed differently, but my programming started when I was a little kid, and so did yours. So today we fast forward. What makes us feel good? What makes us feel loved? What makes us feel recognized? When was the last time you just felt good? When was the last time you felt good? Let's be honest with each other. If you're measuring your energy right now on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at on how good you feel? Tell me where you're at. And let's be honest. Some people are going to say, oh, I'm a 1. Some people are going to say I'm a 10. Some people are going to say, I don't even know what you're talking about. But our vibration is everything. So where you're vibrating, your frequency determines everything in your body. It determines your energy. It determines your sleep. It determines the acid in your body, in your stomach. Our thoughts are things. Stress and mental health, silent killer. Most heart attacks happen on Monday morning between 8 and 9 o'clock. Do you know that? Do you know why? Because the people are stressed. Most people who, overdose on something, it's accidental. They don't even know. They were just trying to get whatever they needed to feel good. And when I was at that event a year ago, listening to that doctor, he said, if you do not have enough vitamin B in your brain, you could be labeled bipolar, depressed, manic depressed, split personality, all these different things that you could actually be, prescribed medication because your brain isn't working right. And when you think about that, are you getting enough? Like, what did you eat yesterday? Because it's probably not in a McDonald's McNugget, and it's probably not in a Sonic cheeseburger or a Coney dog. But we wonder why we feel the way we feel. All the negative, bombardment from all the technology out there, not enough good nutrition in our food. And then the messaging that we're getting all day long, because it's news, news, news. You're scrolling through your news feed, comparing your life to everybody else on Instagram. If there was no Instagram, if there was no Facebook, you literally probably wouldn't care about the gender reveal, the wedding. You would be thinking like, I want to be with the person that I love. I want to be with my husband all day long. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty because I'm constantly thinking, what can I do to keep up with the competition? Because competition is real and people are going to go where they think they can win. People are going to follow a leader that's going somewhere. People are going to buy a brand that has that branding all over Facebook and Instagram. That's what people do. That's what people do. They're followers. Most of the time, they're followers, not leaders. And I'm going to stop you for 1 minute and ask you, who are you following? Do they know where they go? Do they know where they're headed? Are your people that are all around you really cheering you on? I mean, are they cheering you on? Or are they the crabs in the bucket trying to suck you down because they want you to do good, just not that good? That's the reality. I grew up in a small town. Everybody there is a great person, but they know not what they do, right? They talk shit on other people. They're always sharing the latest gossip. They got to share it on Facebook or Instagram so they can warn you of the good and the bad, right? They get involved in these little circles like a cesspool of cancer, killing something, and they don't even know they do it. They kill it before it even gets started sometimes because they know not what they do. And you got to watch your mental health. You got to watch the conversations that you have. You got to watch what you're putting in your body. You got to watch what you read. You got to watch who you hang around. It's all poison. And it's scary because they don't even know they're doing it. So let me ask you a question. Do you think anybody's going to watch the news if the news about the storm in Florida doesn't show the worst picture that happened? Like, people aren't going to stop and watch something that's like, oh, the storm wasn't that bad. No, they're going to be drawn to, did you see what happened in Florida? And it's someone else's adversity. It's someone else's tragedy and trauma, but it just makes people want to watch it and share it because that's the way we are programmed. Our minds want to go to the negative, not to the positive. So you have an idea and you think, I think I'm going to start a new little shop on Main Street. And then 10 people tell you, I wouldn't do that in this town. Who are you going to get to work? Nobody wants to work anymore. You're never going to find good employees. Everyone's lazy, this younger generation, all this false programming, when the reality is, if you go hang around 5 winners, they're going to say, do you need some money to invest? How can I help you get the capital? I know somebody that can help you with Google ads and really blow this thing up on Facebook. You're going to kill it. Let's go. I mean, how many of you have people in your corner saying, you're going to kill it? Let's go. Let's go. I want to be your partner. I want to work with you. I want to take you to the top. I want to go. I want to break records. Most of you don't have friends like that. And that's why Dave and I have thousands of acquaintances, but very few friends. I do have this mastermind group of people that I know. I know that if I call them and I say, let's go invest in this house. Let's go open a restaurant. Let's open a brand new website. Let's go do a sports bar or a pop-up or whatever. Like, they're going to be like, let's go. I'm in. Let's go. Because they think like I think. And you guys, mental health starts with your cabinet, with your people that you're around every single day. Are they all love? Are they building you up or are they tearing you down? Do they have your best interest in mind? What is their intention? What is their intention? To call you and fill you in on the latest and the greatest, gossip about so-and-so? Or did they call you to discuss ideas of how you can move the needle? Because if you can't move the needle and you can't get out of that rut, you're like the bottom feeder in the 100 deep water that's been there forever, stuck down in the rut, and you can't get out of the rut to swim in the big, big lake. You're just stuck. You think about the crabs in the bucket. One of them says, I'm going to get out. And he starts to crawl out. And what happens? All the little crawdads pull him back down. It's like a scraping match to try and pull him back down. Because he thinks, like, what if I could get out of this bucket? But the crabs in the bucket don't know that outside of that crab bucket, oh my goodness, over there is a little pond. And you know what? If they could get out of the pond, they would see that they could float down the river. And if they could float down the river, they would see that there's a big, huge lake in Oklahoma, one of the biggest lakes I've ever seen in my life. And it's beautiful. I don't have to stay stuck in the river in Russell, Kansas, or stuck on the pond in, Dallas, Texas, or wherever you are. There is a bigger picture out there. But people who are struggling mentally, they don't see a bigger picture. Do you know what they see? How do I survive today? Why am I so bad? Why am I so sad? Why did I get in so much debt? How did I get to be such a loser? How did I, fall into this addiction? How did I lose my family? How did I lose my job? How did I lose my car? How did I get fired? How did I end up with this diagnosis? Maybe they had a sickness and they had so much medication that they're full of toxins. Like, we've got to get the toxins out. We've got to get the nutrition in. We've got to get around really good people that are saying, come on, there's a better life out here. Get out of the bucket. You're not a crawdad. Look at you. You're beautiful. You're a pearl. You're not a clam. You're a pearl. And most people don't have anybody saying that to them, right? They don't have anybody giving them hope. People just want to diagnose, label, medicate, and give up. And I'm challenging you reach out to those people that you know are in that situation. You could be one phone call away from them taking their life. You could be one phone call away from them accidentally overdosing. You could be one phone call away from them completely giving up and going down a wrong road to where they are accepted, because the people aren't judgmental and the people don't label and the people do forgive and they do love. And I'm telling you guys, this is an epidemic in America right now. It is an epidemic. 1 in 3 is depressed. 30% of America have admitted, I am depressed, or I have sought counsel for feeling depressed. And I am on an absolute mission. The month of September, I am going to focus every Saturday live on helping people who don't feel good feel good. And even if we make a difference to one, it's going to make a difference. It is going to make a difference. Now, there are people who are born with mental illness. There are people who just aren't right and they need help. How did they get that way? You think of BTK, the killer. I mean, he doesn't think he's a bad person. He's just mentally not right. You know, you look at all the stories of these people, and if you read Psycho-Cybernetics or The Magic of Thinking Big, the first thing they did when they got arrested, the very first thing they did, they asked for the news story. They ask for the newspaper. They want to see what people wrote about them. And it's like a little kid. People are going to get recognized and get attention, whether it's good or bad. They don't care. Do you know what we all want? We all want to be loved. We all want to be loved. And if we don't get it, we will do whatever we have to do to feel that love and acceptance and just being surrounded by something that helps us get there mentally. So, enough of my harping on that. Let's talk about what you're doing. What do you do on a daily basis? You feed your body, right? You wake up, you probably already had your coffee, your toast, your donut, whatever. What do you feed your mind? Most people don't. The most important thing you do is feed your mind. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. Every thought is a prayer. Every single prayer is answered. Whatever you believe, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. You're probably not going to just one day put new jelly in an old donut. You're not. It takes effort. And the event that I was at last year, this doctor really made a huge impression on me. And I've started to study, what can we do to help people with brain health? What can we do to help people who are struggling? They wake up and they don't feel right. You know, they're just not like us. And if you've ever loved someone, drop in the comments if you've ever loved someone that you know they're a good person, you know their potential, you know what they could do, and they're struggling. They're depressed, they're struggling with addiction, maybe they have suicidal thoughts, maybe they are bipolar, maybe they just don't have any motivation. Like they want to get up and you're like, just change. And they can't. And you're like, you got to stop being the way you are. And they can't. They want to, but they can't. And you get frustrated because you love this person and you absolutely don't know what to do. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, in our family growing up, especially on my dad's side of the family, I saw a lot of it. I saw a lot of mental illness. I saw a lot of addiction. I saw a lot of struggle. And at a very young age, at the age of 5, I will never forget being at the lake in the summer, a day like this with my family. And then all of a sudden there was sirens and they came and my dad left and he lost his only brother to mental health, depression, addiction. He was a Vietnam War veteran. He had lost part of his arm from a grenade. He came back from Vietnam. You know, I was too young to know all about it, but some of you know. And Dave's dad being a Marine, I hear a lot about it. I cannot imagine what those people were dealing with mentally. But that day, my kindergarten year, my dad's only brother took his life. And it did affect my dad for the rest of his life. It did. Trauma, it happens. Tragedy, it happens. Sadness and grief, it happens. Devastation, it's part of life. We live a life of redemptive suffering until we die, and then we hope to go to a place where there is no suffering, right? That's what we're all dreaming of. But while we're here, it's going to be normal that there's going to be a mental health struggle because there's going to be life, and life is not easy. It is actually pretty hard. But if you have the right tools and you can get what you need to feel good and maintain that feeling good, it can be a difference maker. I know my dad lived with regret most of his life, but could my dad have changed anything? I don't know. Did it affect my dad's decisions later? Yes. I grew up with a dad that was filled with anger. I grew up with a dad that was filled with pain. I grew up with a dad that was struggling mentally because there was so much that happened. And I will guarantee you, every single one of you has had something happen in your life that you can relate to. And then later in life, I marry a man that has one brother, and I watch it happen again. And you guys, I don't know what my purpose in this life is, but I will be a difference maker. I will notice the people around me. I will not be selfish. I will love and serve and give and never judge. And I will go to my grave trying to find a way to help people with mental health, depression, and the struggle that they're going through. And if you've never had a loved one or a child or a sibling go through it, you're very fortunate. You probably have no idea what I'm even talking about. But it is a daily pain when you know someone that is struggling with these issues. It's a tragedy when you lose someone. It's a tragedy when you lose a little bit of someone every single day. And you guys, I believe that there's hope. I believe that there's hope for everyone. I believe that if we can give people what they need mentally to feel good, what they need in their body to feel good, that we can help this deficiency. And it starts by you not being judgmental and you reaching out and saying, I'm thinking about you. How are you? What can I do for you today? It starts with you complimenting the person that you see this morning at breakfast, or opening a door and giving someone something positive when you pay them and they're your waitress. It starts by us planting good seeds. Most people walk around looking like they're just weaned on a dill pickle. Like I watched last night, Dave and I went to this tribute band and we were sitting there and I was like, a lot of these old people look like they just got weaned on a dill pickle. And I said, I don't think these are our people. Like, I need to move and go sit somewhere else. And then I got a lady in front of me, and she must have grown up in that era. And she's over there dancing. She was out there dancing to every song. She knew all the words. Her dancing and moving and singing was on a completely different vibration than the lady sitting back there with her little upside down smile on and, looking at everybody like they were, not on her level. Like, what do you vibrate? Do you put out all love? Do you care about people? Do you compliment people? Do you give? Do you serve? Are you a giver or are you a taker? Like, you've got to think, because you're vibrating on a level that's completely different than all the people around you. And when you're vibrating higher, you bring everybody else around you higher. Like, I want to bring a high vibe. I want to help people feel better. I want to encourage them and love them and help them dream big and know that you don't have to stay stuck. And you guys, so many people need hope right now. Their funds are low, their debts are high, their stress is high, their grief is high, their fear is high. Like, people are being bombarded with a no hope message situation. And it's up to us to be the difference maker. It's up to us to set the tone all day long. So wherever I go, I am encouraging people. In March, my daughter Brooklyn and I were here, and she was pretty sick. And we had a lady come and do IV therapy. And that day, we didn't know this lady from Adam. We said, oh my God, you're amazing at what you do. Thank you for coming. You're just such a lifesaver. I bet you're so busy doing this. And she goes, no, I actually work home health. She goes, this is my dream, but I work home health all week. And then on the weekends, I do IV therapy because I just like to help people feel better. This is a true story. We said, you should start your own business. She goes, oh, I could never do that. I mean, I'm a nurse. My husband works for a doc company. I don't think there's ever any way I could do that, but I love doing it. And we said, okay, can we take a video when you're walking to the car? And she goes, yes. So we made it for her. We said, you should start a TikTok. And she did. And I talked to her about 2 weeks ago, and she had 800 followers, completely blew up with weekend business. And she said, I just wish I could do this all the time instead of, home health all week and then this on the weekends. Well, today she's opening her own store. She's opening her own wellness clinic. She's opening her own come to me and get IV therapy. She has all kinds of nutritional products. Dave and I helped her design her own private label. Like, she is on fire about life, where before she had to work evenings, maybe had to miss some of the kids' stuff, working for someone else so that she could get by. And now she's working for herself to make her own dreams become a reality. And I'm telling you guys, it makes me feel so good that in a bad situation that we were in, and we could have been gloom and doom and negative and whatever, we were a light to somebody that could believe in themselves and think, I can do this. And she told me, she's like, if it wasn't for your daughter, Brooklyn, I never would have done what I'm doing today. Like, that appointment that day made a difference. And you guys, Brooklyn was struggling, but Brooklyn was still giving to someone else, encouraging someone else. And I know you're all struggling. All of us are. We all have something we're going through that nobody knows what we're going through, but you can still be a light. You can still make a difference. And mental health comes down to how the people feel. We have to think, how did I make this person feel when I was around them? When I walk in a room, I want the whole place to light up. And, some people that walk in a room, we call them sunshine, because when they leave, the room just gets brighter. They don't know that they're negative Nelly. They don't know that they're Debbie Downer. They don't know that they look like they're weaned on a dill pickle. They're just spewing out whatever's inside. And when people are under pressure, what comes in goes out. So the next time someone's really mean to you, the next time you have a narcissistic, mean ass person in your life, instead of hating them, punching them in the face, sharing it on Facebook, telling everybody how they're the devil and they're the worst person on the planet, I want you to ask yourself a question. What must have happened to him or her in their life to make them so sad, so mad, so mean, such an addict? What must have happened to them that they had to go become this type of a person just to feel good? So let's be honest, hurting people hurt people. Let's be honest, hurting people steal, lie, drink, smoke, take things. They do whatever they got to do to feel good. There's a young kid in our hometown, and I know this kid has had so much pain in his life. He's got a lot of good people in his life, but he has had a lot of pain since he was little bitty. And a couple of weeks ago, this kid was going down a wrong road. And everybody said, can you believe the shit he just did? Can you even believe it? He's going to be just like his mom. He's going to be just like his dad. Look at this kid. And everybody was talking about it. And I literally left the room. I found his Facebook Messenger. I said, can you call me? He said, I can't right now, but I can at 1 a.m. I said, okay. And while everybody else was having their little gathering, I was outside on the phone with this kid. And this is what I said to him. I'm here for you. Everybody makes dumb decisions. But right now, you have two choices. Go down a road that you're never going to be able to turn back, or go, apologize, make it right, go back home, understand that person there that loves you so much, that is the positive influence in your life, or you may never have another chance. You may live the rest of your life with regret. Don't make a permanent decision based on a temporary situation. You guys, I know girls that have committed suicide because something went wrong at school that day. I know stories of people who have committed suicide because they played college football and they didn't make the NFL, but their friends did. Like, you hear stories of kids that committed suicide because that day everybody was calling them fat. You will have kids that get in trouble, and I've had them, a lot of young kids in my network marketing career. They got in trouble in college. Mom and dad would have freaked out. They got a DUI. They called me. They said, I just got a DUI. My dad's a preacher. He's going to have a freaking fit. And, I would go there, pick him up, take him home, encourage them later. Maybe the parents hated me. I mean, I literally had a hater once that I saved her son's little butt. Oh, my husband just made me breakfast. I am a spoiled brat, I'm telling you. But there are times where I have been there for someone when their back was against the wall to say to them, you're screwing up, but you do have a chance to turn this around. And you guys, we all have those people in our life. If you're a young kid and you're watching this and you're in middle school or high school, why don't you go hang out with the new kid that just got invited to school, just came there and moved there, doesn't know anyone? Why don't you go sit with the kids that are overweight? Why don't you go sit with the kids that are dressing different than everyone else? Why don't you go help carry the books for the kid that looks overwhelmed, that doesn't have anybody around them when they get out of their mom and dad's car? If you're the popular girl and you go do that, you set the tone for everybody else. And you know what? I wasn't the most popular girl, but I was friends with everybody because that's the way my grandma taught me to be. And she laid a foundation that if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. She laid a foundation that anything that's mine is yours. You can go take it. I can't take it with me when I go. If it's mine, it's yours. And it was just things that stuck with me. And I'm grateful that I had a foundation like that. But you know what's sad? A lot of young kids don't. And you know what's really sad? When my grandma died, I made the worst decisions of my life. And I went down a really wrong road. But this older lady, Kay Morris, I always hung out with a lot of the guys instead of the girls. I don't know why, but one of the guys that I was friends with, his name was James Bond. This is a true story. I had a James Bond growing up. Dave, look at the fox down on the dock. There's just a fox laying right in front of me. But anyway, James's mom, Kay, she was like a second mom to me. Her and my dance teacher. And you guys, when I was going down a wrong road, there was someone there to say, you're good, you're talented, you're pretty. Let's go shopping. Let's have a bake sale. Let's do a garage sale. Let's make some crafts and put them in a craft show. Like, there were things that I did that were constructive with my time because I wasn't an athlete. I didn't have my mom and dad in the bleachers. I mean, my nickname was Mama. I was raising 4 younger siblings, right? But I had people sewing into me love and confidence even when I was going down a wrong road. And that's what people need. People need to be loved. People need the right things in their brain. People need good nutrition. And if you need more information on that, I could tell you all about it. If you've never heard about CBD, all the trauma that happens in our life when we're born, there's CBD cannabidiols in breast milk. All the trauma, all the sadness, all the tragedy, all the failure, all of that takes out of those receptors and they get depleted. And CBD, even for a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, can make a huge difference in behavior and mental health. I love CBD because of that. And that's why Dave and I own a CBD manufacturing company. We believe that it's a difference maker for a lot of people. We believe that it's better than a lot of prescription drugs. And we believe that if you have CBD without THC, you can get the healthy without the high. And whether you're my 3-year-old grandchild and you're getting kicked out of daycare, or whether you're my 9-year-old grandchild and you have molars coming in, like, there are ways that you can give the body what it needs to just feel good. It doesn't have to be any other way. But in addition to nutrition, energy is everything. Frequency is everything. I walk all over barefooted all the time. I am accidentally earthing since the day Dave and I got married. I mean, in the summer, my feet literally look like an elephant's foot because I'm not wearing shoes. I'm earthing all over the place. And here's the other thing, you guys. I grew up in the industry of nutrition. So fortunate for me, I have had people tell me, you should give your body this. You should give your body that. This could help you with sleep instead of taking all the medications. This could help you with energy. This could help you with mood. This could help you with being able to focus. And it's just, I'm grateful for the seeds that have been planted in me. But you guys, I am just getting started. I am literally just getting started. And I am working on something that is going to absolutely rock the world when it comes to mental health. I am working on something that is going to be a household name when it comes to you raising your vibration, you raising your frequency, you being on a whole different level, and all the people that you love. And here's why: because I have to. I have to. After watching what Dave's mom went through, healthy one day, October 1st, a year ago, we were planning Thanksgiving. We were mourning the loss of a lady that we loved more than anyone else. And she was young. 74 is young, you guys. But I want to tell you what I believe is the silent killer. I believe stress is the silent killer. And I believe what's going on around us, whether we know it or not, literally depletes our body of all the good energy. I also believe you have to be alkaline so that crap can't start growing in your body. And that's hard to do with what we're all surrounded by. But over the past year, I have really thought to myself, what is my passion? What is my purpose? What could I do to be a difference maker? Dave wrote a book. You guys go grab the book. It's called The Thinking Cure. It's an incredible book for anybody, anything you're going through. Dave wrote it during one of the hardest chapters of his life when he was mourning the loss of his only brother, who he lost to mental illness and depression and addiction. But that book, The Thinking Cure, helps you take any situation and turn it around. You can get it at pitcockmarketing.com. Dave and I have also been doing a lot of coaching with a very small group. And that is davidandbarb.com/best. And the coaching is going on right now. It's limited time because when we start this new project, there's no way we're going to have enough time to do an hour live every day and one-on-one coaching with everyone. But it's been an incredible journey, and you can get it while you can, because those people are manifesting all of their desires. Their energy is different. Their health is different. Their focus is different. Whether it's a young kid or someone that's 75 years old, it's crazy what we've been able to teach and train and share through our experience and the battles. You know what? That's the only way you learn, is the things you go through. And it's an absolute joy for us to be able to make a difference to other people. So stay tuned this month. I am going to have an incredible speaker helping with suicide awareness, helping to make a difference in this world so that you all don't have to experience a lot of the pain that other people do. And I'm telling you guys, I'm grateful for everything that's happened, the good, the bad, all the chapters, because it's that pain that has given me so much purpose and passion. And I will never stop bringing good energy, telling you you're amazing, you can do, you can be, you can have any single thing that you dream of. Anything you're going through, it's a temporary situation. Even if you have no money, you're not poor. Poor is a mentality. Broke is a temporary situation. And you guys, I want to ask you a serious question. What emotion, what event would have to happen in your life for everything to just be better? What's the one word that you need to feel right now for everything to just be better? Like, what would have to happen for you to get better and everything to just be good? Think about that and drop it in the comments. And if you do, I will personally send you a message of what I believe would be the best book, the best audio, the best seminar, the best mentor, what you could do to turn things around. But you got to be vulnerable. You got to be authentic. You got to think about your own values and what really matters to you. Quit going with the flow and being like everyone else. Because you know what? If you keep hanging around them, you're going to end up just like them. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But you will be the average of your 5 closest friends. And when I heard that, I realized Dave and I needed some new friends. And some we could stay friends with. We just needed to love them from a distance because we couldn't afford that contagious infection that we were getting just by power of association in the conversation. You get to set your own boundaries. You get to decide on your future and what it is that you really want to experience. And I am encouraging you, take care of your own mental health. Encourage the people around you who are struggling. Do your own research. See, what could I do to make a difference? And if you want to lock arms, I'm telling you, jump in the coaching. We are going to be difference makers. It's amazing what we've accomplished already, and we're just getting started. Dave wants me to show you. Where is he? Oh, he's right here behind us. I don't know how to do it. I can grab my phone and do the Instagram feed. Where is he? Okay, there's a fox right by me. If I could turn. Oh, I'm going to let you guys see him. Okay, you guys want to see the fox? Dave, come here and hold this. I need your help. I don't know how to turn it around. Can you guys on Instagram see the fox? Now, this computer, I'm going to have to completely turn around. Aw, do you guys see the little foxy? Can you see him? I don't know if you can. I might be showing you nothing right now, but that's the end to my life. You guys have a great day, and I hope you have enjoyed No Guts, No Story. See the little foxy? You guys see him? Bye, guys. Have a great day. Can you guys see him? He's just having some lunch. It's beautiful here at the lake. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Labor Day. Stay safe out there. He's going. He's going to go eat right out of Dave's hand, you guys. This is not the most professional video, but I'll let you see what's about to happen. Oh my gosh, he's literally eating out of Dave's hand. There he is. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi. They're so little. Hi, little baby boy. Breakfast with the foxy.
It's super yummy. You got some sausage? That's probably better than my dead fish, huh?
Oh, yuck, Dave.
Oh, boy.
He's going to come right up here on the porch with you and eat breakfast. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi. Say hi to my friends. Oh my gosh, you guys. How cute is that? Well, it's a beautiful view here. All I can say is I hope you guys got some great energy from today's broadcast. I hope that you have an amazing, amazing Labor Day weekend. I am going to be enjoying the day with my partner in crime. And last night was AC/DC night. Tonight is 80s rock night. There's race boats, bands, and barbecue. And tomorrow night is country night. So if I can make it through these first two nights, Sunday night is my night. Drop in the comments, what are you guys doing? And let me know how you benefited from today's broadcast on mental health. I'll be doing this all month of September, and I'm going to have some amazing guests with me that have a lot of knowledge and bring a lot of power to people who are struggling with mental health. And you guys keep in mind, it's 1 in 3. They're all around you. You could be the difference maker. Get your blinders off. Quit worrying about me. Turn your little selfie camera around and say, how can I make these people around me feel better? Because they're struggling and they need a friend like you to be a difference maker. You guys have a great day and a safe and happy Labor Day weekend.